All right, so the motor. It was having overheating issues, so we found a leak down in this area, and we traced it to the gasket that's on the bottom of this. So this goes down and bolts down between the valley between the cylinder heads. And we pulled that off, replaced that gasket. It was obvious that the gasket had been leaking. And then put it all back together, started pouring water in it, and heard another leak. And traced it down to a hose barb down in this area. We pulled that hose off, and that hose, where it went, along the way, we replaced this whole coolant pipe that goes all the way back. It goes all the way back to the back of the cylinder head there. So we replaced this whole pipe, replaced all the gaskets basically from the valley on up, everything, all the intake manifold gaskets, all the water coolant gaskets, and a lot of the hoses back in that area. And along the way, so when we put it back together, started filling up with water, we heard more leaking. When we found it was this hose down here, right in between the cylinder head and the valve cover, or the timing belt, backside of the timing belt area. So we pulled that off, and that hose went from there over to here and out to a barb that used to be on the previous pipe but was not here on this one. So we were going to just loop that hose over to there, which is how it was on some of the factory Isuzus that had this pipe instead of the other version of pipe. When we were pulling that hose off, it broke the barb on this side and it was rusted out. So now there's no way to have the hose barb to put the hose back on this side without taking the cylinder head off and reworking it. And that is why this car is going for sale. So obviously it's not put back together at the moment. It would take us a couple hours and we would be able to get it put back together, and it would start and drive, but it will not hold water. So that is the state of the union as far as this motor goes. Battery is still good, starts, holds charge, does everything just fine. Cruise control works, everything works, except for the motor just won't hold water.